Welcome to Nice from Education, the largest producer of maps and globes in the United States. Exploring Where and Why is a cross-curricular program that includes a literacy library. This session has been specifically designed for the library and specifically for second grade. We are delighted that you are participating and look forward to receiving your assignment and giving you feedback. I'm Pam Gothard, Professional Learning Director for Nice from Education. It's my pleasure to serve as your narrator and host. Miss Marcia will also be modeling for you again in this session how she has used Exploring Where and Why with her students. You've met Miss Marcia in some of the previous videos. She's a second grade teacher and a certified facilitator for Exploring Where and Why. Just as you learned in one of our earlier sessions, the best place to start is the Teacher's Guide. Your literacy library contains 12 books, fiction and nonfiction, and a host of lesson plans. The table of contents is where you'll find a list of all the books contained in your set. You can also find recommendations as to which books fit best in which location. For instance, you'll notice that the book Look to the North can be used in 4 different places. You have a lot of flexibility in where you wish to use each of the different books. This is just another way that you and your colleagues can share resources when money or resources are in short supply. Let's look at Alejandro's gift. There are 5 recommended places in which you can use this book. No, I wouldn't use it in all 5, but rather I would see which one best meets my needs and the needs of my students at that particular time. Miss Marcia is going to use this book and begin by doing a read aloud and then conducting an activity or two with her students. Let's listen.
Suddenly, Alejandro found out that time was passing more quickly. He was rarely lonely. He had only to look up from his hoe, and from wherever he might be at any moment, he found a small friend nearby. For a while, this was all that mattered to Alejandro. But after a time, he wasn't so sure. He began asking himself, is there something more important than just making myself less lonely? It took Alejandro a little time to see. There was. He began to realize that his tiny desert friends came to his garden not for company, but for water. And he found himself thinking of the other animals in the desert.
You learned in our last session that Exploring Where and Why is a cross-curricular program. Teaching social studies through literature certainly is cross-curricular and a beautiful marriage between the two disciplines. But let's look here. You can see that not only can you use the literature pieces to correlate with the geography and social studies, but also with science, critical thinking, art, and other disciplines. Miss Marcia is going to use the activity related to writing. Let's take a look.
Okay, and I want you to fold it like a hot dog bun. Okay, then I want you to open it back up. Take your pencil, and on the top, I want you with your pencil to draw and write what his gift was. At the end of the book, we talked about what his gift was. So your sentence could begin with, his gift to the animals were, or his gift was, and then draw a picture of what his gift was. Okay, make sure we're working this way. And up at the top. What was his gift to the animals? So write what his gift was. What does the sentence begin with?
Capital.
Very good. So do a check. What does the sentence end with?
Period.
Some punctuation mark, and this one happens to be a period. So make sure you've got that.
Here we have the book, The Armadillo from Amarillo. Miss Marcia is going to begin, again, by reading aloud to her students and then conducting an activity or two with them.
Okay, so this story is called Armadillo and Amarillo. Okay, hands down. And Armadillo from Texas wondered, where in the world am I? I mean, what's out there beyond those tangled woods? What's out there beyond the sky? So Armadillo packed up his things and he left his home behind. And he headed off on a northeast course to seek what he could find. And from the top of the highest tower, he saw where he might go next. But Armadillo still wondered, where am I? I mean, what's out there beyond the prairie? What's out beyond the sky? He followed the river past twisted oaks, through ancient trees, shared by warblers and virrows. What's a warbler? What's a virrow? What do you see? What do you see?
I see a bird.
Okay, so it's a type of bird. What else?
I don't know how to say it's a type of bird.
Very good. And so he wrote another letter. Dear Brillo, today I shared some cheerful words with a wild turkey and some other birds.
Once Miss Marcia has completed the read aloud with her students, she's going to have the students participate with the writing activity. Let's see what they do with the writing.
Our armadillo, he went to lots of different places, didn't he? Yes. And along the way, what did he send?
Postcard.
Postcards. What shape is this?
Like a postcard.
Like a postcard. So what I want you to do is think of one of the places he went to. Okay? And you're going to write me a brief message about what he saw there. Can you do that? Think of one place he went to. And what did he see? And write that on the front of your card. Okay? So tell me one place he went. And then on the other side of your card, with your pencil, you're going to draw what that place looked like. So if you're doing space, what are you going to draw?
Space.
Space. If you're looking down at Earth, you're going to draw the
Earth.
Okay, and if you're in Texas, you might draw, where did he sleep that first night? The blue bonnet pillows. You're going to draw me what he saw. Okay, can you draw me a picture of what he saw? Awesome.
The students loved having an opportunity to create postcards. They were able to write the postcards as well as be able to decorate them, so their artistic flair was able to be used here too. Miss Marcia is going to conduct a second activity based on the book, The Armadillo from Amarillo. The next one she's using is the critical thinking activity. Let's take a look. The students are thinking critically about what was read in the book, The Armadillo from Amarillo, and they're doing a T-chart regarding the differences between Texas and their home state. Just as Miss Marcia's students were enjoying learning, I'm sure your students will too. I'm sure your students are going to enjoy exploring all the books in their literacy library. Well, you've come to our fourth and final session of Exploring Where and Why 101. Please complete the assignment you see here, send it to me, and I'll be glad to give you some feedback and send you a certificate for 2 hours of CEUs. Just utilize one of the books from the literacy library, take some photos of your students completing an activity, and maybe some shots of the completed activities themselves, and send them over to me at pgothard@nystromeducation.com. It's been my pleasure to be your host and your narrator. I hope you enjoy using your Exploring Where and Why program.